Hi guys, I'm Ben from Adaptalux and welcome back to the monthly macro challenge where we set you guys a theme and you can go away and take some lovely macro photos for a chance to win some really great prizes. I'll get on to how you can enter this month's challenge towards the end of the video, but for now we need to jump over to the computer and take a look at some of last month's entries. So here we are on the Adaptalux photography community group on Facebook, and you can see that last month's theme was toys, and it was a very popular theme. We've got hundreds and hundreds of entries, everything from Lego to action figures and a few interesting oddities in there as well. Unfortunately, we don't have time to get through all of them in these videos, but we do have some notable mentions and of course a winner and a runner-up. So I'm going to jump straight in with our very first notable mention. John has used his piano here for a backdrop to a really romantic, lovely little photograph of two HO scale railway figures sat having a lovely romantic chat, perhaps a little bit of lunch on the keys of the piano. I really love how this is framed with the space between the key being directly in the middle of the photograph, but also that lovely soft focus adds to that sort of romantic feel. It almost could be a couple sat having lunch in Paris, but of course it's not, because we've got that change in scale between the characters and the piano. A really lovely photograph. Thank you for your entry, John. We hope to see more just like this in the future. Jim has brought something a little bit different to the table. He's brought his Airfix kits in. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a composite or perhaps just meticulously placed with a backdrop of this aerial photograph, but either way, it's very well done. Everything seems to be perfectly in place. The lighting is ideal as well, and that black and white old-timey filter really brings the whole thing together as if it were actually shot from a plane in the Second World War. Now, Jim, you'll have to let me know down in the comments whether this is a composite or not, but either way, it's a fantastic photograph. Thank you very much for your entry. Next up, we've got Randy, who is fishing in the sea, and Nate rightly pointed out in the comments that this is actually the C key missing from the keyboard, which is a fantastic little pun, and I would expect nothing less from Randy, who I'm sure will be in the comments to talk about his photograph as well. But this really is a lovely photograph for its composition and the way that it draws the eye to the little scene down here as well. We've still got that soft focus dropping off. We've also got that bright blue color of the it looks like plasticine or something down in the well here, and the color of the chap is the only color in the photograph. So this clinical white keyboard and that soft focus, it all draws the eye down to our little character doing his thing. So very well thought out and very well executed, and thank you for your entry, Randy. Next up, we've got another familiar face. We've got Darren, who's becoming quite the expert on shooting these Star Wars action figures in action using both his Adaptalux and this little smoke machine that he's got. We actually saw Darren at the photography show and he gave me a little demo on this miniature smoke generator, and I do really want one just for shooting things like this. It adds a lot more atmosphere into what could otherwise be quite a plain scene, and of course the addition of that photoshopped in lightsaber really makes this photo stand out. How he suspended General Grievous up here, I'm not quite sure. Perhaps a while it's been photoshopped out. Let us know down in the comments, Darren, but thank you very much for your entries and very well done. Last but not least, for our notable entries, we've got a few more miniature figures here from Irina. Now, Irina submitted a huge amount of really amazing toy photography for this competition, and it was a real challenge to pick our favorite, but this one was particularly nice, again for that really soft focus, separating out the foreground of the figures from the background, and the introduction of some organic materials here. I'm not sure if this is actual squid. It certainly could be, in which case there is a lot of attention to detail gone into the posing of these tentacles, but overall this is a fantastic photograph. We really like the colors, or the rather lack of colors. This desaturated look really evokes that sense of isolation in space, I think. But yes, really fantastic photograph, fantastic entries, all of them, Irina. Keep them coming, and thank you very much for submitting. Our runner-up for this month is going to be Michelle's Street Fighter-esque scene with two guys fighting. These action figures are notoriously hard to pose and balance, so how you got this guy standing on one leg and this guy sort of half falling over, I'll never know. I think this is a lot of time spent posing these guys. Michelle, let us know down in the comments whether you fixed them down to the ground, or whether this is just he's in the middle of falling over just after letting go. But I think what actually makes this photograph, aside from the posing, is the rain. There's this really thin slice of in focus rain where the guys are in focus, but then it quickly drops off into out of focus bokeh in the foreground and background, which really gives the image a lot of depth and a lot more realism. So very well done for your runner-up entry. Thank you very much for submitting, Michelle. I hope to see more from you in the future. For our winner this month, we're back with Randy, who's taken this fantastic photograph of abseilers coming down through a hole in what I can presume is maybe a guitar. I could be wrong there, but do let me know down in the comments, Randy, if this is in fact a guitar or perhaps something else. Did you have to break your guitar in order to get a camera in here? Do let us know down in the comments how this was shot. But this is a fantastic photograph with this cascading light coming through the hole that the abseilers have just come through, and the sense of scale as well. It would be all too tempting to go in a lot closer to see the detail on these figures, but what Randy's done is come all the way out and left a huge amount of empty space around our subject here to give that sense of massive scale, as if they were abseiling down into a gigantic cave, and leaving our subject really small in the middle there, but still drawing the eye using that beam of light and again that little highlight of color from the characters themselves. It's a really fantastic photograph. Thank you very much for your entry, Randy, and we'll be getting your prize out to you as soon as we can. Thank you once again to everybody that took the time to enter last month's competition, but now it's time to talk about this month's competition. We're now in October, and a new month means a new theme. The theme for October is going to be candy and sweets. Obviously, in the run-up to Halloween, candy is very popular at this time of year, so we thought it would be a great opportunity to get the macro lens out, take a really close-up look at some sugared treats. Our first prize for this month is going to be one of our macro subject holders, really great for keeping your subject steady while you're shooting. The runner-up will be getting a photography deck, which is a set of playing cards with lots of photography tips on the reverse sides of each card. The way to enter this month's challenge is simply to head over to Facebook, search for Adaptalux, and you'll see the Adaptalux photography community group pop up. At the top of that group is a pinned post from myself, and you just need to enter your photos as a comment on that post. This month's competition is going to run all month from today, the 1st of October, all the way through to the 31st, when we'll be closing entries ready for some judging and a brand new video just like this one on the 1st of November. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do with your macro sweet photos, but if you do need some ideas and inspiration, I'll link to a couple of videos just here with lots of tips and techniques. All that's left for you guys to do is hit the subscribe button so that you're here in a month's time when we release another video just like this one with the winners from this month's competition. For now, that is all that I've got time for. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.